Well, within the conventional definitions or depictions of European history, this is a period which traditionally fell between two better understood periods. And that is one reason why, until really my generation, Rudolph was not paid much attention to or was regarded as eccentric. The norms were, on the one hand, the Renaissance, and on the other hand, the 17th century, which is supposedly the age of reason of the scientific revolution in Europe. But if you want to say this is a transitional period, and really it is a key moment, a key transitional moment. And that is, in a way, best represented, in a certain sense, not so much in art, but I can talk about art in a minute, but by science. Kepler, who was brought as the astrologer, we say astrology, yes, he was involved in casting horoscopes. Yes, he believed in the harmony of the spheres. Yes, he believed that you could fit each of the distances between the planets, the spheres, you could fit the Plato's geometrical solids in them. So these are all very old ideas. At the same time, on the basis of observations, which Brahe made, he introduced or he applied the observational science that would have been used also for astrology to the creation of new ideas. So that's on the science side. On the art side, it's also what you might call a transitional period. It used to be called mannerism, but I don't think that that term fits extremely well, because the very same artists who were involved in these supposedly very elegant, mannered, distorted figures, supposedly emotionally or erotically charged figures, many of them or their colleagues worked in another way. And that way is one that we often call naturalism. So, for instance, some of the first still life paintings were made at the imperial court, and particularly at the time of Rudolph. That's also significant. The first landscapes based on nature studies. There were landscapes people drew from nature, Leonardo did, but putting the landscape as a whole, basing it on a drawing that you've seen, that was new. And some of the first independent animal paintings, not as a study in a nature book, as a natural history book, but in a painting, in a panel painting, those were also done. And those are very significant developments within the history of European painting. Also within decorative arts, we talk about in Europe, engraved glass. That starts at the court of Rudolph II. Things did not start there, but were promoted there. That is to say, the mosaics and semi-precious stones and other ways of carving were promoted or accelerated there. So there are a number of important new developments in various forms, and I'm sure there are other things one could talk about too.